Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Dipanshu and I have come up with the part 2 of the cyber threat intelligence where we have left last week. So this particular video will talk about how we will automate all the reports. But before going to that, I would really like to thank you everyone for giving so much of your respect and love, and by watching my videos, giving good comments on LinkedIn. I'm getting a lot of private messages where I'm getting a lot of thank you messages for sharing such knowledge, because the way how I deal with the things, or how I explain the things in a very simpler way. I don't like fancy words. Even my English is not that good when I'm speaking to. I always like to speak in very simple language. The English stuff, very very simple words I choose to talk about. I never used to focus on on the English in my, even in my past. But what I focus is on the complete technical core things, whether it has to code, whether it comes from coding, or whether it has to go with red teams, or whether I used to develop malwares. Whenever I used to explain how the malwares can be used to bypass the EDRs or the email securities, or when I jumped into malware analysis. Like I always used to do malware analysis from my college time itself. So when I used to explain how malware analysis work, how we do the dynamic malware analysis, static malware analysis using Ghidra, I always used to like Ghidra a lot, or Win32 DSM. So my way of explaining things has always been simpler. That is why I'm getting a lot of good comments. I would really like to thank you everyone for watching my videos. So I've always been an offensive guy, but I'm enjoying in the field of threat hunting as well. Threat hunting, cyber threat intelligence, forensics, malware analysis, and SOC, SOC management, all those sort of stuff. So today I have come up with a new video, which will, in this video, we will automate where we have left, because because you will not create a team of maybe like 100 people, or you will not hire 100 of cyber threat intelligence who will keep on monitoring certain groups, or who are keep on monitoring the threats that are to the country, that are those who are threats to the country, or espionage groups who are threat to your organization. What you try to do, you always try to automate the things. For example, you are running an MSSP company which provides the SOC management, or the SOC, to the organization. So usually those companies who provide SOC, they always provide the cyber threat intelligence as a service add-on. Okay. Now you will not hire 100 of cyber threat intelligence guys who will keep on monitoring each and every group and each and every IOC or each and every point, or they will not be all the time be in touch with all the malware analysts or the forensic analysts. So what you will try to do, you will always try to do certain things, okay, which you will always try to automate certain things. For example, this particular report, which, for example, a customer comes and he asks for that to my organization, APT10 and APT29 both are a threat to my organization. I want a full APT report on these two groups. Okay. So what you will do, you will go to Google and start looking for their IOC, start looking for their threat reports, methodologies, their way of espionage, their way of doing things. No, you will not do that. What you will do here is that for example, you are targeting a particular APT, 10 group, okay, which is known as the Stone Panda, which is a very famous Chinese state-linked cyber espionage group. Okay. Now, now you will keep on monitoring this particular group, their actions, their way of activities, their way of targeting, their modus operandi, and so on. So how will you automate this particular task? Okay, how will you automate the reports? For example, I have written this report, very straightforward report, not a full report, but a very straightforward report to achieve our modus operandi. Okay, some screenshots are missing, or images that you can make it fancy as much as you can, but I don't like to create my reports fancy reports. I just like to keep my things very simple, straightforward, but full technical, which explain each and everything. Okay. For example, here you are targeting an APT10 group. Okay. Now APT10 group is known as the Stone Panda group. Okay. The Stone Panda group is a Chinese-based APT group which is active since 2006. Now we all know it has been backed by the China's MSS, and their activities and modus operandi is always espionage against the MSPs. Okay, targeting various across the globe, especially to their enemy countries like US, US, Japan, India or Canada, Australia, and so on. So how they operated? They operated by sending the spear phishing mails with the malicious attachments, which the attacks they usually target is the water hole attacks and DLL side loadings. And what they are famous for? They are famous for deploying the malwares by compromising the MSP networks. Okay, the rats and the tool sets they use is the charges. Sorry for my pronunciation, but they are the memory resident rat used for stealth. I have never worked on this, but this looks interesting. I will definitely do that. Red leaves, which is a very famous modular backdoor. Plugx, which is used for data theft. Quasar rat, which is used for lateral movement, which is being used by the APT36 group as well and other APT groups as well. Then HitRAN, okay, the HTRAN, okay. Then we have the IOCs, uh, you know, then we have a very different kind of APT group, which is used for, what they do is they mobile and cloud espionage, but we have a very different kind of an APT group, which is known as APT29, which we all know is a Russian foreign intelligence backed group, which whose modus operandi is espionage in US, okay, and the European countries, especially which are part of the UN. So their modus operandi is this. But what if I say that all these reports we can automate? So either you can go for the automated tools or you can build your own automated tool. I personally, there are like many tools in the market which will be like Group IV, Rapid7, Digital Shadow, and so on. But lately I started liking a tool, which I'm working on from past almost like 1.5 year now, which is OpenCTI. OpenCTI is a very beautiful platform. The best part about this platform is that the community version is a completely open source. You can design your own automated Docker files uh, and your own automated Docker connectors, which you can use to connect with the various sources present online, dark web, or on internet, or on deep web. How you want to take it on, it all depends upon you. I will not teach you to connect with the dark web here, but I will use certain connectors that connect you with the dark web to identify the modus operandi or to track the APT group activities. So, you know, now this particular thing helps you a lot. This is not only enables you to gather the espionage activities, to gather the intelligence, but it will also activate you to investigate the incoming files, the incoming IOCs, the incoming intelligence, the incoming malicious content, their incoming talks on the dark web where they are doing the chats. You can include the chatter apps over there and so on. Or you can build your own CTI platform as well by connecting it to multiple platforms like MISP. MISP is a very open source threat intelligence platform, which I personally use a lot to track a lot of activities in the organizations. Okay, without wasting time, what I thought is like is to build the OpenCTI. So what I will do, I will give you the complete Docker files, which I have which you can use to build to start with the doc to start with this. So I have embedded connectors in that where I will show you how to write it and you can use those Docker files, the fully customized Docker files, to start with the OpenCTI platform. Okay. and I will also give you all the commands and everything, so you can start it. And by the time those who are looking to enter into cyber threat intelligence, or those who are already working into cyber threat intelligence, trust me, OpenCTI is going to give you a lot of information if you utilize it properly. Now I'm using OpenCTI from past almost like 1.5 to 2 years now, and I have built over a lot of connectors, which is giving me a lot and lot of information, automating the threat intelligence, automating a lot of things in OSINT. I'm not saying it's a proper OSINT platform, but at least it has automated a lot of stuff for me. It is connected to my other stuff as well, especially MISP, where I'm doing a lot of mumbo jumbo things, and and it has also, and I have also connected it to my sandbox connect. I've also developed the sandbox connectors, which will connect you to the Kappa or Cuckoo. The connector that is present on GitHub, it requires a lot of modification. So I did modify a lot of code at the backend for Kappa and Cuckoo sandbox connectivity. And you can do that as well if you're running Kappa v2 over the Cuckoo sandbox as a multi-layer sandbox platform. You can connect it to that. Okay, so without wasting more time, let's start with OpenCTI platform. I will immediately spin up my Kali machine, and we can start. Always start with sudo apt update, so that whenever you are starting fresh, you should start very fresh. Okay, so before going into this, we need to present with certain things. Okay. So I'll just clear the screen. We'll start with sudo apt install apt transport https, then sudo install ca certificates. Okay, it is already there. Then you can install curl. Curl is already installed in my machine. Yes. Yes. Then you need to install the GNU PG. I think this is the correct name. GNU PG. Oops, I think spelling mistake. Sorry. This is very important. Binary. Then you need to install the, I think if I am writing it correctly, software properties common. Yes. And post that, install the complete Docker. Okay. And you can install the Docker compose. Okay. Let me just yes. Let me just start over. Fine. Let's enable Docker. The systemctl enable. Now I think this is the command for this, if I'm writing it correctly. Yes, you can also check sudo systemctl status Docker. It is running fit and fine. Okay, so let's escape. Let's Control C. Let's add the Docker as in the user group. Let's enable the group. Docker done. Let's now git clone the OpenCTI KDIR or let's just uh, download it here itself. Done. If you go to sudo OpenCTI, you will see you have a Docker compose file. So you need to build a environment variable file before, like for example, if I think I don't have Sublime this thing. Let me just install the Sublime. Let me just install sudo apt gedit. Just give me a second. Let me install Sublime. Oops, I forgot to add the key. Yes, should work. I like Sublime Text a lot. I don't like any other text editor. I used to work on Cherry Tree when I used to do bounties in very long back. That time I used to write everything on Cherry Tree. But then when Microsoft Notes came in, I started developing my interest in that. And then Sublime Text came in, and I stopped working on Notepad or Notepad++. So I personally like this. It's a personal choice. If you want to use it, please go ahead. I really recommend you to use the Sublime Text Editor. It is very nice. Docker Compose YAML file. We need to edit this file. I will tell you what you need to do in this. Let me just zoom it first. So before going into this, we need to first set up certain environment variables. For example, let me just show you like the Minio root password, root user, and so on. So let me first take the backup of this particular file. Always remember when you're playing around Docker files, you always keep the backups. So I'm working on DevSecOps from like almost like 4 or 5 years now. Uh, and trust me, when you're playing around with Dockers, especially when Kubernetes is around you, always make sure that you take multiple backups of your file. If you don't, when you are merging it to your branches or to the main or master, you will always feel, uncomfortable. For example, I'll give you one example. I have published a code, which is the PowerShell code for, auto merging all the independent repositories to a main master repository. So go check it out on GitHub. But when I was doing it manually, it was taking first of a lot of time, and I don't like to spend time much. I just sit down, write code, and automate things which how whatever I can automate. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm like hardcore coder, but I know coding, so I can, so whatever I want to solve, I solve it. And plus nowadays I'm also using ChatGPT and especially DeepSeek to do a lot of stuff at the back end as well. But I enjoy automating things a lot. So things which I can automate is always better. So go check out that, and I have uploaded and I have also posted it on LinkedIn, so you can grab the link from there as well. But anyways, what we will do, we have already taken up the backup. So let's sudo copy the environment file to .env. Now let's go to Sublime. Yes. So here these are the environment variables which you need to change. So I will change to, I will not change the email ID. Uh, Here you need to generate a token which you can generate it from here. You can go to any website which gives you version 4 UUID generator version 4. You can search like that on Google, and whichever English you want to, oh sorry, whichever website you want to go, you can use it. It's none of any issue. So you can just copy. Now here you need to update with your IP address. I have seen the local host also works fine, but if you need to use it on certain instance in your LAN environment, then you need to put the IP address. Health check access key. Again, you need to generate another UUID. So you can just refresh the page, copy, and you can paste. Health key, then minion root user is this. We'll use the same password as admin @1234 exclamation. Here default password will keep this. Now here is a catch. You can either change the UUID for these sticks files and all, like CSV, sticks ID, document ID and all. But I will keep it as of as of it is, because it will solve your purpose. So no need to change this. Okay. It depends upon you. I literally don't change it, but but if you're using it for connecting outside of what CTI provides you, then you can go ahead and change it. Otherwise, no need to change this. Okay, so our environment file is set up. Just go and save the file, or call it save. Now let's start changing the environment variables. It looks fine. This also looks fine. Yep, here it is, the issued one. So what you can do is you can change this HTTP OpenCTI to the IP address like this, 8080, replace all. Okay, so this OpenCTI will be replaced to this. Now you have OpenCTI URL, which will be like this. Okay, let's just look at one more time if everything is fine. Okay, everything looks fine. Let's just pull the Docker, sudo docker compose. Then we have pull request. So it will start pulling all the required latest Docker images on the machine. So let it pull. I will not stop the machine, so you will know. I will not stop the recording in between, so you will know what is going at the back end. Okay. So let's wait for some time. Let it pull. It usually take like 5 to 10 minutes based upon your internet connection. But what I wanted to in between tell you that 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 you can go ahead and check for all your check for all the tools that are there on the internet. But trust me, I'm using OpenCTI from like 1.5 year to 2 years now, and the best part about this is fully that the community version is fully open source. You can go ahead, change OpenCTI as per your organization or as per your skill set. or as per your interest, it doesn't stop you to leverage it. I have done a lot, and that is why, I always recommend all my analysts in my team as well to explore this. We have set it up as fully automated now. Yes, in the beginning it might takes a few weeks for you to set it up completely, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. But once it is set up, there is no going back to any other tool in the market, because it gives you so much of leverages to connect to the MISP, to connect to the alien world, to connect to the ransomware life, to connect to the dark web, you know, uh, and it's so much. And the best part about this is that you can do the live investigations, and you can actually embed, or you can actually link the online and the offline IOCs which you have identified to the same APT group, or to the attacking, or to the malicious files. So let's take an example that APT10 has launched a full campaign uh, against uh, against against the countrywide, okay, to the enemy nation, and your organization is also hit. Now, what will happen is you will start collecting the IOC, start blocking it, bombarding it, and so on. But what if I'll say that you can automate this and start collecting all the information and place it in one particular bucket, and then you can utilize that bucket to link it to your security solutions, for example, like firewalls, for example, your service level gateways, for example, your EDR placements, for example, your web proxies, for example, your zero trust, for example, and to so on. So when you start exploring this and you start connecting it, you can actually go ahead and start blocking all those IOCs automatically. Okay. So you don't have to worry about what is going on the internet. You can set up the complete templates, automate those templates, automate those what we call it as playbooks, and you can see the magic around that is going on in the organization. Okay, so you don't have to worry about all those things. So it is almost done. Let it give it 2 to 4 minutes now. It's completed. Let's make all these Docker files up. So let it create. Done. Give it a minute. Maybe open the browser. Okay. In the beginning, it might take a few minutes. So let it run. It's all created. Meanwhile, let me have some water as well. I think it's taking a minute. If it gives 2 to 3 minutes, and it will be done. It shouldn't take that much time. It should be fast. I don't know. Sometimes Dockers, and especially when you run these Dockers on pods, sometimes it takes a lot of time to, compile and to, to run at the backend. Sometimes they can go very messy. By the way, it's a very beautiful technology when you are importing and exporting Dockers and storing on the Docker hubs, or especially the Azure hub. It is very, very nice. They work very fast and very fluent. But when you are importing it to directly to pods, and it many a times crashes, and it many a times creates a lot of mess. So always keep on making the copies. It's a new Docker Compose, so it that is why it is taking time, but it should be very fast because we still have not we still have not embedded the connectors into it. So this is working fine now. So let's open the OpenCTI platform. Okay. So I'm opening it on my host machine. So you can actually use this as admin at the rate OpenCTI, admin at the rate 1234 exclamation, and let me save this. So by the time the video will be published, don't worry, don't try to do anything on this. By the time this video will be published, all the data will be gone. So as soon as you log into OpenCTI, the dashboard looks like this, but you can fully customize it. Let me tell you how. So you can go to custom dashboards and you can create your own dashboards over here, how you want it, uh, uh, how you want to automate it. It gives you a lot of data insight. But what I wanted to start with is the data ingestion. Right now, our OpenCTI is fully empty. So let's give some data. Let's start ingesting the data in this. You can ingest as much as of data you want to, but we will start with the Docker connectors. So what you can do is let me just open a website. If I am correctly, I don't know where I still have the link with me, and this is working. Yep. So you can go to GitHub. The connectors are available freely for you. Now you have multiple types of OpenCTI connectors, which are listing over here. You can go ahead and start connecting it using the sticks. Okay, your sticks IDs, you can get the fields using sticks. And the best part about is that it is that the that this is also open source. You can modify as much as you can the way you want to. But for this, we will use the external importers. So you go to external importers and you can see a lot and lot of connectors. So for this video, I will use the AbuseDB IP blacklist, Alien Vault. This is the Cape connector, but it is not working completely. So what you can do is you can add your own code to it and start using it. Then same goes with the cuckoo. So you have to embed and modify cuckoo Docker file and store it in your Docker hub to make it work with this. Uh, we can use Malware Bazaar, but for this video I will not. You can use the MISP and the MISP feed, but for this video I will use the MITRE ransomware live. Okay, so let's start with the abuse DP. So you can go to Docker Compose file and you can start copying it from here. You don't need to use the version 3 and services. Services is already globally written, so you can copy this thing. You can copy the code over here and you can go to the let me first make all my Docker instances running down. Like for example, if you want to see, let me show you Docker Compose, which are running at the backend. So you can see all my OpenCTI Dockers are working. Let's down this sudo Docker Compose down -v. V is for verbose. Let's stop it, and then we can start modifying the Docker Compose file. So you can go to end. You can make a few things, and because it's a YAML file, always remember in YAML files your formatting matters a lot. So for OpenCTI, you need to change it to the 192.168 to your local machine IP. I think this is correct. Let me just go up. Yep, this is fine. Here you need to write the OpenCTI token. So this is the token. You can add the token over here. Then you can write the connector ID. So let's generate the connector ID here. Here you can use the connector ID over here. And here you need to add the API key. Sorry. Here you need to add the API key. So I will use my API key. So by the time you will see this API key, it will be gone. And you can just change this abuse limit to maybe one more and interval to 1 day. So after every 24 hours, it will start going in this. Okay. So let me just fill this out. Give me a minute, or I can actually copy this. Let me just use the API key. Okay. This is the API key for abuse DB. So by the time the video will publish, this API key will be automatically revoked. Okay. So similarly, you can go to another connector. Let me just close this to close some of the threads. This is the alien hold. Similarly, you can do it for your MITRE, and similarly you will do it for your ransomware live. So I have already created this. So let me just copy paste each and everything. And let me just directly paste it over here. Okay. And let me just confirm each and everything which is working fine. So here it is like this. Let me first remove the Okay, let me now reformat it. Okay, so this is done. So let's just put the connectors again. Now it will pull all the additional connector Docker images, which are the latest. So give it a minute. You can add as many as connectors to it. I have added the MISP to my production environment. You can add as many as connectors you want to. Okay, you can go for virus total. You can go for URL scan. You can go for vulnerability check. That is also very nice. You can go for tweet feed. Hive. This is awesome. This is awesome. The Hive. You can go for Taxi2, which will give you the sticks format to inject the feeds. Like for example, with Trend Micro, if you have Trend Micro, you can embed it. If you have Sentinel-1, you can embed Sentinel-1 as well. S3, recorded future, Proofpoint tab. So we have embedded fish hunt, Proofpoint as well, OpenCTI itself. Like for example, if you go to OpenCTI and you want to embed OpenCTI connectors, you can embed it. It's very beautiful, by the way. Okay, it gives you the geographical locations which are getting targeted. So for example, let's use this as well. Let's look at it. Oh, okay. Meanwhile, it is running. Let me add it. Oh, 168. We generate another UUID. Then config interval 1 in days. Anything connect run error. This one. This is fine. So let it run. Let it get completed. Then we will close this and we will again pull the OpenCTI connector as well. Okay. There are other very beautiful connectors. Meanwhile, let's look to the other connectors. So you have OpenCScam. You have Microsoft Sentinel Incident Defender, Mandiant CTI platform, Mandiant threat intelligence platform, basically. Then you have Malware Bazaar, Multiverse, Malcore, Ironet, and Hunt.io. Group IB, very, 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 very nice. Gray Noise Feed, Google Drive, Fortinet Threat Intelligence, Flashpoint. Like when I was looking to this Google Drive one, it was you know it was way awesome. Okay. So you can just add on to your Google Drive links, and you can look and you can see the magic which is not running at the. Then you can add the CyberSec skill, CRSH, CrowdStrike, CPE, Cofense, and many more. Okay, so this is up. Let me just shut down this so we can sudo docker compose -v. Okay, give it a minute. So this is done. Let me just pull the latest images. So docker compose pull. Okay, just pull. So let's run the docker compose again. Let's let it get completed. Give it a minute. It shouldn't take much time now because it's already compiled at the backend. Just give it a few minutes. Almost all the Docker images are created and are running. Just give it few more minutes because these are connectors images. It will take a few minutes. Should be live by now. Sometimes these Dockers they take a lot of time. Sometimes that is why sometimes they go very messy. And the moment they crashes or moment some of the images they don't run at the backend, then the actual issue starts. Troubleshooting for Dockers is very painful. You go to Docker inspect, you look for the logs, you look for certain things, and many more. Now all the Dockers are running fine. Let's just look at once if all the sorry, all the Dockers are running fine. Yes, these are fine now. So let's log into the connectors again, and let's look what data they are trying to ingest. So let's just refresh. Let's log in again. And give it few minutes. They will start, ingesting the feeds. So you can see this. They are already ingesting it. So if you go to home, you will see the ingestions are starting. The ingestions have started. Okay. So give it a few minutes. By the time we will go to another very important concept for the RSS feeds. RSS feeds is the most important is the most important point when you are when you are developing or building your own OpenCTI platform. I have in my community basically, which has the both type of people, who thinks offensive and who thinks defensive. Both has one center point of agreement that RSS feeds is the most important feeds in the world. Okay. Now, you can go for any amount of feeds that are there on the internet, but there are some important feeds which I will talk about. Like one is the trend micro, okay, which is I feel it very important. Okay, you can go for the hacker news, uh, which I personally like a lot because I am following hacker news like when I actually started my journey. Okay, in this field, like in 2010 basically, when I started from the pen testing, and when I started using it. you know Another is the packet storm. Okay, where a lot of my publications are published. For example, one of my famous hack in MD5 collisions, which I published in DEF CON, TourCon, many conferences at that time. I don't even remember now. It was very, very long back, almost like 11 years back. Okay. So when I was in college, I actually did MD5 collisions. I developed the full code, how MD5 collisions are working. I presented this research in DEF CON, TourCon, I think in some other conferences as well, and in many colleges, in many universities in India. Okay, so do check that out. It is still is very famous actually. Uh, then we have bleeping computer. You can go for the bleeping computer as well. RSS speed, add. You can start it. And in few minutes, you can see the magic of these RSS feeds. Okay, let's go back to the connectors and see if they have started ingesting. Yes, we can see a lot of ingestion that is going on. Okay, so after like a few days, basically, if I not few days, after like a few days or few weeks, you can see a lot of good information that is being published here. Now, before going into that, I would like to, I don't want to give you full, walkthrough of this particular tool, that there are a lot of video tutorials on YouTube that are present. But now what we wanted is like, is to automate all our threat intelligence and threat intelligence reports. Okay. I don't want anyone to, to spend time in creating big, fancy reports and big, these things. We can fully automate these things. Okay. So let's take some example. Let me check if what APT groups it has published. So let's search for APT, maybe 36. It has not yet fetch APT10. Yes, it has fetched for the APT10. Let's look at the MITRE one, what it has fetched for. So the SNU grid FireEye APT10, it was first published in this. Now this is the distribution opinion. Okay, and these are the MITRE links. Any knowledge base? Nothing. Content? Nothing. Analysis? Nothing. Data? Nothing. History? Nothing. Okay, we will come to this. Let me just look for certain threads. Thread actor groups not yet fetched. It takes some time, to fetch a lot of things. Let's look in something what is, you can look for this, that what are the countries which are affected most in the different colors. This is how you can look for this. Okay, let it fetch. The only thing is I cannot show you my production environment, otherwise that production environment, if it is there, it's so much of it's so much, it has so much of data. Let's look for, that's still not published. Otherwise you can go for thread actor groups and all those, but what you can do is you can actually go and create as well thread actor types and thread actor groups, but I don't want to waste most of my time in that, so let's look for APT10 only. Okay, now you can see some more entries in this, so let's go for the Uppercut. Okay, so let's suppose the APT10 has used the Uppercut backdoor. You can go for and browse the link for Uppercut. You can have all the information that what they have used. They have used the TTP ID as this. They are using the Uppercut has an HTTP call for C2, including sending error codes and cookie headers, which is a typical malware technique for data exfiltration and the C2 communications. Encrypted channel, ingress tool transfer, screen capture, system information, which is fine. Now we want to update all this information. Okay, for example, your company comes and your company say that I want a full report on the Uppercut, which is being used by the APT10. Okay, so you can start building it out. Okay, I know that a few months you might that few weeks you might need to spend on building all this CTI platform, but once it is completely filled and it is completely there with you, it is so much of nice, to utilize it. Okay, so now let's look at what is Uppercut over here. Uppercut is a backdoor, so I will search for the backdoor. I got a backdoor, is of family. Yes, you can search for there's another thing as downloader. It has dropper as well. I think it has keylogger. Screen capture it has. System owner and discovery it has no keylogger. It has no ransomware properties, but it has remote access Trojan for C2 communications. It has screen capture. Okay, fine. Nothing there. So you can start writing over here. Uppercut information. You can write as per your organization. So what I have told my analyst is to write each and every information. For example, Uppercut is a backdoor which is highly used by the APT10 group. okay, to compromise the machine and use this backdoor and use it to create a backdoor and use it to create a sophisticated backdoor to exfiltrate to create a C2 to create a C2 communication. Okay, kill chain phases. You can look for command and control. Then persistence, privilege escalation. Let's look for the privilege escalation. Command shell is there, so we can also go for privilege escalation. Execution, lateral movement. This is also for initial exfiltration. Recurrence. Then we have discovery, and we have defense evasion as well. Initial access, and it has credential access as well. No, it doesn't have any credential access. Okay. Author, the MITRE corporation. You can also add your name. For example, my name is I can name it as the city. Okay, and we can write entity type, or I can write it as individual. I can make it a the thing we can label. Marking is always clear for this one, and external references you can give references to anywhere. Okay, and then you can create it. Okay, so this is done. We can do, let's just zoom out once so that you can see the full screen. This is fine. Now see this the data. Okay, now see this. Now let's go to nested objects. So let's suppose this belongs to APT. Then let me search for this. This is the data for this continue uppercut relationship type. You can do, and you can actually create it. I think it is still not fetched yet, so you can create it later once everything is there. You can look for external references where it is being exposed. You can look for uppercut. You can look for MITRE, SC guide. Nothing much is there. Leave it. Then you can go for, you can use the alien science if you have the if you have purchased the version. You can have the sticks ID which you can embed in your platform. You can label it as a new label. Let's take this label as APT10, and this color will be your always. This, I don't know why it is showing like this, but the color will be red. Create, add, and the label will be added. Okay, so you can go to knowledge base, and you can add the, similarly you can add the knowledge base over here. You can go to plus sign, create a relationship as, for example, uppercut, malware, continue, controls, and you can see you can just mention over here when it was first seen. Then you can make the author. I don't need to do that. I can go to MITRE. CISA is not there. Let's look at the ransomware. This will be Amber for this, and we can create it. Oops. Relationship can't be created at the same source and the same target. There is the same source and the same. I don't know why it is creating again. Shit. Oh, sorry. We are creating a relationship. So we can look for some other relationship with this. For example, this uppercut menu, and we can create. Okay. Similarly, you can go to content. You can also add in the knowledge. Okay. Like this. Or you can add alias. You can add timelines. Okay. When it was all seen. Then you can add the global kill chain. Okay. Then you can go to content. Okay. You can add the files. For example, I received a malicious email attachment like this. I want to add a text file. It will be Amber. Create. Okay. Then I can start writing my content over here. Uppercut backdoor identified in in USA, India, and some other European countries. Okay, and you can save this. Okay, then you can go for analysis, and you can add the analysis over here. You can have the data, and you have the history, what all things are being changed here. So if you go and if you see, if I go and if I see the uppercut, okay. Now if I have to generate the report, I can generate a CSV report or a text report, okay, whichever report I want to. Now in few minutes the report will be ready. So report is ready. You can download the report in the text format, or you can have it in the Excel format. If you refresh it, it will show you the Excel format as well and the PDF as well. Okay, see this. Let it open. Okay, so the file is open. You just need to little bit of things you need to do over here. You can go to data, you can go to text columns, and you can fix width. You can go to next, and I think that's it. We will delimit it. Others, we can do this semicolon like this, and then next, and then finish. Now you can get the complete information in the required format. Okay, you can also generate PDFs. Okay, you can also generate PDFs. Just do little bit of formatting and it will be all done. Okay, let me do the text and it will be all fully done. So this is how we can automate all our CTI reports by just using some external tools, and we can develop our own connectors. Now you can see the data is getting filled. Okay, and you can also build your own this thing. But what one more thing I want to showcase it to you is the investigations. The investigations are very nice. Let me just have a test investigation. Let me just create it. Let me just go to this. Okay, now here you can actually build your investigations. Okay, for example, I want to add an entity to this. Okay, so let's take an entity that is being attacked. Okay, let's take this domain which was being identified from the ransomware live. Now I want to understand what exact like for example, if I want to I so for example, if I am working on this particular case where this particular domain was being used as an IOC or was being compromised, and I am doing my investigations on that. Okay, and I have received a certain file or certain things over here. I can actually go and look for all the information and I can do all the investigations over here. Okay, so that is the beauty of this particular tool. I can attach the IOCs to it. For example, like this IOC, I can attach to it and we can start seeing all this particular data over here. Let me just delete it and let me just create it again as test. Let me do this. Let me add it and let me just search for some Microsoft. Okay, let's 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 go. Okay, so let's suppose I am doing the investigations on that, and I am looking for the file that I have gotten. I can actually go and look for, and I can actually go and start creating the investigation panel like this over here. Okay, so if I'll start clicking on this, okay, I will start getting the information on that, and I can add as much as information on this. So for example, I can add WMI, that it has used the WMI in this. Let me just add it. Oops, sorry. Now I can create the complete relationship between them, that there was that okay, we can create the relationship between that. We can search for the results, and what all attack patterns are being used in this. We can actually do the full investigations on this. Okay, so this is how the this particular tool can be very helpful when you are doing the analysis and you can doing the investigations. You can also go and create your own IR reports and everything. When a particular incident was there, when a particular incident was created, you can go and create and add your own malicious files when which you are investigating. Okay, for example, if I go and I think this is the malicious file which I created, which is a very simple malicious file, test VBA. Let me just give it severity high, priority P1. Now, for example, that a particular analyst has identified this malicious file and he wanted to inform it to the forensic analysis and the malware analyst team. They can create incident report over here, and and I can write that this malicious file is being identified with VBA underscore macros. Please investigate and provide the further. We can write it like this: macros initial IOCs identified are blocked. However, please provide the block attack patterns to create the automated prevention playbooks. Okay, you can write like this. You can assign it to somebody who is there in the organization. You can add the participants. You can write the author, who is the author of this particular file. For example, I will write like this. We can label it the as a file because this is macro, so I can use it as a macro label. We can do the markings. This is of course a red marking. External references I want to add, so let's create it. Now I wanted to do the investigations on this, so I can add as much as information I have on this over here. Observables and data. For example, in observables, I want to add it as the credential, domain name, email addresses, host names, IPv4, something else if I want to, like URL, and I can go there. I can create plus sign. Let's look at the process. Score 50. Command line is cmd.exe. Okay, select file, create an indicator from this observable, create. Okay, done. Now we can add it over there, and the process cmd.exe added. Okay, so if I go to investigations, if I want to do the investigations as macro VBA mal file create, I can go to this and I can add the test VBA. I can search for this, or I can just search for VBA. I don't know. This is the recent which we created, test VBA. Okay, we can select all as of now, expand, and here you go. Okay, so we can look like this. The test VBA was created. It was observed. The author is this. Macros are there. Now we can start embedding into this. Okay. Oops, sorry. Now we can start embedding the data into this. Okay. So whatever you have observed, you can go to your incident response. You can go to test VBA. You can start adding the data into this. Okay. You can start adding the data into it. So knowledge, you can add the like cmd.exe, which I have added. Okay. Let me just show you the macro which was there. Okay. if this is the correct code. Yes. So you can see there is a PowerShell script which was being ran against in the IP. It's a very simple macro. Okay. Shell you hide when you double click it. Shell will not be there. So you can start adding the knowledge base over here. You can start adding your data in this. Okay. You can create an entity. You can create an observable. So for example, you observed an artifact. You you can add your hashes, you can add your things onto this, and then you can start linking all the things to the investigations. So this is the beauty of using in such type of platform which provides you so much of openness to add your own stuff. You can modify, recode it. You can add the custom connectors. You can add the custom codes in this, and it's so much of helpful when you are using it in your daily basis life. Okay, you can customize the dashboards as you want to. You can see the data that it is fetching. Okay, so which looks very nice. It becomes very easy for you, look for the countries, look for the CVs. The most exploited CV is CV 2017-1182, of course, which is used by almost all the APT groups over there. You can add the knowledge base, you can add the entities, you can add the aliases, and so on. So if you start spending time on such CTI platforms, or if you start building your own CTI platform, trust me, the life becomes very easy in your daily life. Okay. So for example, APT 29, you can start adding the data for APT 29. And if anybody wants to have the report, go to export, go to PDF, create, done, data, sorry, history, and you can see your report is getting prepared. So this is how you can create your own fully customized your data, your fully customized CTI platforms. Okay. So I hope you liked my video. Give it yourself some time in this. Spend a few weeks or maybe 2 to 3 months to fully build it for your own organization. If you have a startup, you do not have money to to spend on such things, so you can give this task to your CTI analyst. He will spend some time, but after some time, your life will be fully easy, fully nice. You can simulate this in your environment by just adding the open base platform, which I have also added in to automate certain investigations, which I have mapped with the Nessus. And because Nessus is fully you can fully code the Nessus files as well, the Nessus plugins as well, and you can connect with your open base, and then from there you can start running it the such simulations in your environment as well. Okay, so I hope you liked my video. So that's all for cyber threat intelligence. The next video I'm planning is to create on Kubernetes analysis, Kubernetes threat hunting and analysis. So stay tuned for the next video, and keep liking, sharing, subscribe if you like my videos. If you have certain suggestions on which particular things I should create videos, I have great experience in malware development, penetration testing, and especially the offensive ones, when we used to the bug bounties, when we used to bypass almost entire things in the web applications, mobile threat, thick clients, APIs, all those things, network pen test, which includes your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, your LAN network pen testing, exploiting, compromising servers, malware development, bypassing email security, EDRs, your anti-malwares, fully automating the credential theft, persistence, lateral movement, and so on. So in coming videos, you will see a lot of this stuff where I'll be now focusing on most of the automating. Also, I would like to showcase you my GitHub profile where you can look for almost the entire thing. So for example, threat hunting, you can look for the all the threat hunting folders. Just recently, I have yesterday created a fully automated what we call it as the playbook. Sorry, not playbook. In the random coding, the to fully this is a fully automated script that will completely merge all your repos into one repos which are independent repositories into one into one single repo. Okay, so do check it out. These things I'll be keep on uploading a lot of stuff on my GitHub as well in coming days. Just I have recompiled all the red team cheat sheets which I created very long back, okay, into one. You can have a look to all the red team cheat sheets and feel free to modify, add it over there, and make, and do not forget to create a pull request so I can also see if there are new issues which are being which are being introduced here as a modification. I'll approve it and it will be added for the good cause. Okay. So thank you everyone for all your support. Keep watching the videos. Please provide your suggestions. If you want certain or if you want videos on certain topics, I'll be happy to create those. It gives me a boost as well. So have a nice weekend. Happy Eid. Okay, everyone. Enjoy your rest of the weekend. Thank you.